Hi everyone, it's Emma, and today I'm going to talk about some books that I am thankful for. But before I get into that, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for all the subscribers who have subscribed recently. I think like 2 weeks ago I hit 300, and right now I'm about to hit 2,000. I honestly can't believe it, and I'm a little bit overwhelmed because there's so many of you. I just wanted to thank you guys so much. I had this video all planned out for 1,000 subscribers. I was gonna sing for you guys, and I didn't even have time to do it because I got to 2,000 so quickly. I hit 1,000 subscribers on Thanksgiving. I was feeling especially thankful because of how amazing you guys are. So many of you showing up at once. I'm so thankful for everybody who comments on my videos. Since I didn't have time to make a 1,000 subscribers video, I will hopefully make a 2,500 one because dang, you guys are coming so fast. I don't know what to do. Also, to all the people who have commented and messaged me asking for a bookshelf tour, I will make one, I promise. I haven't decided if I wanted to wait until after Christmas because I'm going to get a ton of books and then I'll probably rearrange my bookshelf. So I figured I would probably wait until after Christmas and then make you guys a bookshelf tour. If you really can't wait, comment down below, let me know, and I will do a super quick bookshelf tour on my Instagram story. Go follow me on there and you'll see it. But if not, you'll just have to wait until after Christmas because I don't want to do a bookshelf tour and then get a bunch of books, rearrange my bookshelf, and then it'll be all different. I might as well wait and then show you guys all the new books that I got. I have an entire shelf that you never see, and it's rainbow and it's over there. So I definitely want to do a bookshelf tour. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the books that I'm thankful for. I know Thanksgiving was last week, but I'm going to do this week because books have been such an impact in my life. There's just so many books growing up that made a big impact on me, and books that kind of like opened up new reading experiences for me and led me into an entire genre that I didn't even realize existed before. The first book is kind of a really obvious one. I'm sure a lot of people put this on their list of books that they're thankful for, but I had to include it, and that's Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. I grew up with Harry Potter. It was like a family thing, so I actually saw a lot of movies before I read the books. Not just like my parents and my brothers, but also my extended family. Harry Potter is a Christmas movie, and whenever we get together for family gatherings of any kind, we often watch Harry Potter movies. When the last book came out, we were all on a vacation together, staying in a beach house, and all of the adults and half the kids were reading the last book, and nobody was allowed to talk to anyone because they didn't want to be spoiled. So Harry Potter has just a lot of nostalgia for me, and a lot of childhood is wrapped up in these books. But not only that, reading them when I was a teenager or rereading them when I was a teenager, I just resonated a lot with Harry and the things that he goes through. Just the whole struggle between light and dark and friendship and love and isolation, I just really enjoy, and it really means a lot to me. I'm sure these books mean a lot to like everyone who reads. It really is kind of the one that started it all, so I'm really thankful for that. How I grew up with these books and just like all the experiences that came with that, going to see the movies and the midnight releases, and a lot wrapped up in this series. The next book that I'm really thankful for is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This one I'm thankful for lots of different reasons. One reason is because it opened up the world of classics to me. Before I read this, I didn't read classics for fun. I think I was in middle school, so I'd probably read a couple for school. Reading this, it kind of showed me that classics could be really interesting and really character driven and really funny. I enjoyed it so much, so it gave me the interest in branching out into other classics, and I love reading classics now, and so I'm really thankful for this. And another reason is just that it was one of my earlier experiences realizing how much I love character-driven books. The next book is probably another obvious one. It's The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. I love this series. It's like my favorite series. I've mentioned it multiple times. If you've watched my videos, you probably know by now. Hopefully you're not sick of me talking about it because I'm going to talk about it a little bit more. This series is one of my first experiences with magical realism, which is now one of my favorite genres. But not only that, just these characters and her writing style. These books feel really light and fun when you're reading them, and yet she tackles things like abuse and multiple different types of trauma in a way that is completely respectful and really realistically done, and I really appreciate that a lot about these books. And I just love these characters. Like, what would I do without my babies Ronan and Adam and Gansey and Blue and Noah and Henry? Like, I don't know. I'm just thankful for what Maggie Stiefvater has combined into this. What? Oh, I got a Tumblr message. I get freaked out like every time the Tumblr message notification goes off because it sounds so weird. I don't know why. Anyways, I'm just really thankful for all the things that Maggie Stiefvater managed to wrap up into these books. The next book is one that I have not talked about on this channel yet, and yet it's one of my favorite books. And it's Bel Canto by Ann Patchett. I read this about a year ago, almost. It just made such an impact on me. I'm not sure why. This seems to be one of those books that everyone has a different experience with it. I absolutely loved it. Then my mom read it and she was kind of neutral towards it. And then I talked to my aunt who read it and she really disliked it. But I absolutely loved it. The writing style is just incredible. It's written very romantically, and yet it's not a romance at all. It's about these people who all get kind of trapped in this house. These terrorists come and take them captive. They were looking for the president of the country, but the president wasn't even there. All of these captives end up living in this house for a month or longer. I can't even remember how long it is. It's not really about terrorism, it is about the people. Over the course of this book, you grow to fall so in love with these people, and yet it's all very minimal. It's very subtle. You're not getting intense, deep backgrounds into their lives. You're just getting hints here and there. And yet somehow I was really attached to all the characters, including all of the people who are part of this terrorist group. And this isn't like the type of terrorism that you think of when you think of in America, that type of terrorism. So don't misunderstand me. The writing style is just really beautiful and I fell in love with it. I've been wanting to read another Ann Patchett book ever since. It's also one of those books where she kind of tells you what's going to happen at the beginning, and yet somehow you trick yourself into believing that that's not going to happen. And when it happens at the end, it just makes such a big impact on you. And I couldn't believe it. I don't think I've ever cried harder reading a book than I cried reading this. I could go on and on and on. There are so many books that I'm thankful for. Obviously, just so many books have made an impact on me, but I tried to narrow it down to 5. And so the last book that I have to talk about is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I'm really thankful for Sarah J. Maas's books. One, they kind of reawakened a love of YA in me. I had read Hunger Games and Divergent and all those books when I was young, and I was a part of like the fandom days. But then I kind of outgrew it and I thought of YA as still being like that. Then I read Sarah J. Maas and I realized that YA has evolved into something completely different. Not only that, but I really appreciate how Sarah J. Maas tackles things like depression, anxiety, PTSD in fantasy books, because for some reason reading fantasy books impacts me a lot more with those kind of issues than reading a contemporary. But reading it in a fantasy setting like this just has a huge impact on me, and this book came at the perfect time in my life. I've read it twice since it came out, and I could honestly read it over and over again. There are so many days when I go in and I go back and I reread my favorite parts. The journey that Feyre goes through in this book was incredibly inspiring and encouraging to me. I think a lot of people have experienced similar things with this book, especially people who have experienced PTSD. I acknowledge that like Sarah J. Maas isn't the perfect writer, but what she does well, she does really well, and that is how she handles depression, anxiety, PTSD, mental health, and all kinds of trauma in her books, and I sincerely appreciate that so much. Also, just this world that she built is so incredible. Even though I didn't love ACOTAR very much, I fell in love with the world, and that's why I continued the series. This has that magic, and I really love the world, even more than Aralea, I think, in the Throne of Glass series. And obviously, I want to be a part of the Night Court. Alright, those are the 5 books that I wanted to talk about that I'm thankful for. There are so many, and I wish I could just go on and on and on. Other books that I'm thankful for are Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli, Six of Crows, and Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Obviously, I love those books, and she also does the same thing that Maggie Stiefvater and Sarah J. Maas do, and she handles trauma-type issues and just very diverse, complex characters into those books, so I love those. Oh, well, I just finished The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, and I loved that, so I'm very thankful for that one. Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. These are all books that have really made an impact on me, whether it was just their style and the writing and the characters, or if it meant something personal to me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button. I'm Miss Emma Reads a Lot on all my social media, which I will link down below if you want to follow me on Goodreads or my Bookstagram account. I haven't managed to make Twitter yet, but that's coming, hopefully. Twitter, scares me more than the other social medias, but I'll get there eventually, because I need another way to talk to you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon with a new video.